Hey, it's Caitlin here. So I am a local business marketing expert, and I want to talk about something today that is probably going on in every single one of your businesses. If you're a local business owner, whether you are a retail, restaurant, coffee shop, this business, yoga, This is something that has affected every single type of local business. It's the big consumer shift of summer 2024. So I'm going to talk about what happened. I'm going to talk about what to do about it. So let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the way that a customer buying journey used to look. Okay, so you can see here, like this is very basic. This is, a customer journey or a funnel. Many of you probably have seen or heard about that before. And it used to be pretty straightforward, from since the dawn of commerce, basically up until summer of 2024, a funnel was fairly straightforward. You needed a way to get new people's eyes on your business, and then a certain percentage of them were going to have an interest in your business. And then a certain percentage of them, if you're a local business, were going to walk in, see if they actually wanted to buy from you in person. A certain percentage of those were going to purchase, and then a certain percentage of those were going to become repeat customers. So here's this big shift, and this has kind of been coming for years. The internet has shifted consumer behavior, and it's kind of been on the cusp, but it just changed irrevocably in 2024, and it's not going back. So this is what a customer buyer's journey might have looked like. This is simplistic, right? But this is what it looks like now. And the latest data from Google says a customer has to touch a business 11.6 times on average on at least 4 channels before they are ready to go the rest of the way down that, funnel or that buying journey and actually purchase from you. So when you think about it, the consumers that are, even in your local area, right? They need to see you on social media, your website. Maybe they're going to Google your business. Maybe they're hearing about you again from a friend, and then, they're repeating all of it all over, and then they might finally come in and buy. And this has been something that has really, really, really affected local businesses. Marketing has changed forever, and it is not going back. So, 11.6 times on at least 4 different marketing channels for that consumer to actually buy from you. And this is why it is so, so important. You can't just rely on your sign or word of mouth or, 1 or 2 different channels, because consumers are expecting to see you across multiple channels. The businesses that they see most often that actually, are showing up 11 times are the ones that are getting the business. So let's talk about, what we can do about it and exactly how we have to address this for local businesses in order to actually see real customers and foot traffic. All right, so what do we do about it? First and foremost, and this is actually super, super important, even more so now than it ever has been, and I'm going to explain exactly why and what to do. But the big thing, if you're watching this video, write this down, put it in your brain, commit to this. What I'm about to say, this is the number one thing that I see most of my local business owner clients doing wrong when they first come to me, is that they don't have a marketing budget. You need a marketing budget, okay? Marketing spend is not like your fixed expenses. It's not like your rent or your payroll or anything like that. If I'm going to give you an analogy here, if your business is like a car, all those fixed expenses, that's what it takes to buy the car, right? Obviously that's a big expense, but if you don't have a marketing budget, it's like having no gas, okay? It is literally an investment in actually driving the car where you need it to go. Why would you spend all this time and money and effort on the car just to let it sit there? And, the idea that you can get your business moving fast enough to be profitable is kind of like trying to push your car where you want it to go if you don't have the gas money, if you don't have the marketing budget. Technically, sure, can you push a car? Yeah, you can, of course. But if you want to get there before you yourself are just completely broken down and busted, you should probably budget for some gas. And it's even more important now than it ever has been because of this consumer mindset shift that started to be, incredibly prevalent in summer of 2024. So the reason why you need a marketing budget now more than ever is because of 2 things. Okay. The first one, algorithms and AI. Okay. It has shifted not just the way that consumers are interacting with content and how they're thinking, but it is making it much harder to stand out online, right? Like if you actually want to stand out organically, now you need to optimize for AI and make sure that your content is ranking not just on stuff like keywords or hashtags, but like for actual like attributable what's the word I'm looking for? We need to rank for like ideas, right? Like consumers are searching for like queries. And so like if that sounds hard, it is, right? And it's very expensive. So the way that big businesses are standing out, like it's getting more and more and more expensive. Algorithms and AI are suppressing organic reach even more than they ever have been. And then the other thing that happened, and again, around, summer of 2024 is where we saw the shift become like extremely noticeable, and it's just increasing, is that consumer behavior has shifted as well. And it's for the same reasons. All these platforms with all the content like designed to keep people on the platforms and monetizing content itself for views, like that has suppressed organic reach, especially for something like a local business. And it also has shifted consumer behavior from a standpoint of what they're doing with that content. They are scrolling, they're, all these apps, all the algorithms, the way that everybody is interacting with the internet and with social media. And by everybody, I mean not just consumers, but the way that businesses are optimizing, their websites and stuff for these channels is keeping consumers on the couch. Okay, so their behavior has just completely changed. They're on their phones all the time, and they are being actively incentivized not to leave the couch, not to leave the app. Okay, so how do we fix it? So I want you to think about a couple things here. Because I just said, right, like consumers have shifted their behavior. They're, still buying things, but they're not doing it the same way that they were. They're really engaged and attached to their devices, right? Like everybody is on their phone. And also the algorithms and AI suppressing organic reach more than ever. And it's just snowballing and spiraling. It's exponentially getting worse. And so what I want you to think about here, from a local business perspective, everyone is on their phones, and you simply cannot reach customers using organic methods anymore. Organic is dead, less than 1% reach, and it's mostly being eaten up by content creators who are monetizing for views, okay? And my clients do use organic as part of their customers' ecosystem. It's how you keep existing customers seeing content from you. It's not going to be where you find new customers. So organic isn't going to find you new customers. And that is true of, organic social. It's true of email. It's true of things like optimizing for SEO on Google. And I'm sad to say it, but it's even true of traditional marketing channels like billboards, sidewalk signs, networking. Consumers have shifted their mindset. They're engaged with their phones, all these other platforms. The reach we're seeing just go like plummet through the floor. Okay. So this is why we need a marketing budget. We need that marketing budget to run ads to reach new customers on these online channels. And I'm not going to tell you exactly what you should be spending, right? Because that would be somewhat irresponsible of me. This is just like a free video on the internet. And I don't want you to take what I say as like a one size fits all answer and go do it and then not have it work for you. So, I work with business owners every day. I'm helping them figure out what they should be spending for their specific situation in business and for what their goals are. And so, by the way, I can get you access to that information. I have a free call. I'm going to connect you with my team. There's absolutely nothing for sale on this call. As a matter of fact, keep your credit card in the freezer, right? I can't sell you anything if I want to. It is a completely free call to help get you connected with some resources that are going to help you with marketing for your specific situation. So go ahead and book that call. It's 15 minutes of your time. It's going to give you some actual concrete answers versus just the theory of what we need to do for your ads budget. But I'm going to keep going here. Here's just an example. So this is a pretty typical local business. It looks a lot like clients that I work with, but again, please don't take this as a one size fits all answer. So let's say you have a budget that you have $5 a day and you are running ads on digital platforms. I teach this a lot, like Facebook and Instagram ads work really, really well for local business because you can target specific areas and you can also target buying behaviors of local customers. And that's a whole other video. I'm not going to go deep into that here, but you can't just throw $5 up and put a 20-mile radius around your business and hope it works, right? There's a specific way you have to run the ads. So you're doing it the right way, the right message, you're targeting those local buying behaviors, and that's how you have to do it to turn it into foot traffic. And so, you're using that $5 a day. And let's say in this example, again, this is not one size fits all. We help you for your specific situation. So book that call. But for example, if you have a $5 a day ads budget and you get one extra customer in per day from those ads for 5 days, okay? And each customer maybe spends an average of $15. Again, just like very average business, right? So that would be 5 new customers that you wouldn't have had that weren't aware of your business. And they each spent $15. So that's $75. Because you're spending a budget of $5 a day, you spent $25. So that's a profit of $50 or 3 times ROI. So, that means you are bringing in 3 times what you just spent on those ads, and you're actually reaching people that didn't know about your business before. Now, you just rinse and repeat, right? You keep putting gas in that car because it's bringing in new customers. And then, the other thing you have to do here, right? It's you have to have your other marketing pieces in place. Those things like social media, email, loyalty programs, those sorts of things are how you make sure you have a lot of repeat customers, which is how your business truly grows. But that, again, that's another video. But the big thing to understand is that consumer behavior shifted. And now, again, this happened around the summer of 2024, and it has been increasing exponentially ever since, right? And most of my clients, who are all local business owners, restaurants, retail, services, gyms, coffee shops, anything that relies on foot traffic, literally everyone started feeling this and seeing this drop in traffic in summer of 2024 because consumers are online more than ever. And the algorithms have completely killed organic traffic. And now AI is just shifting that behavior even more at a faster rate, right? So consumers, they have that average of 11 touch points across at least 4 platforms before they actually purchase. So my local business clients who are running ads, they're targeting local buying behavior. This is what fixed it. And a lot of them are seeing, my example that I gave you was if you spend $5 a day and an average person spends 15 in your business and you get 5 extra, that's an extra $50 you wouldn't have had. A lot of them are seeing a lot more than that, 5 to 6 times ROI. So if they're spending $5 a day, they're making $150 from that $25 ad spend. One of them is actually at an 11-time ROI. So she's getting on average $280 for every $5 she spends. So, I can show you exactly what to do to make this happen for your business. Again, I've got a lot of resources, beyond just a video telling you about the theory of this and why it's important. So book a free call. There's absolutely nothing for sale. It's just 15 minutes. We're going to help you understand where you're at, what to do to fill up that gas tank and get your marketing on track to actually grow your business. So free call, or if you want some more videos showing you exactly how to put those other pieces of your marketing into place, join my Skool group. There's a lot of content in there. Again, it's free. I'm not trying to gatekeep any of this. I want your local business to succeed. So book that call with me and let's talk about your specific situation and help you get where you want to go. Let's put some gas in that tank. All right. Talk to you next time.